I want to thank the senator from North Dakota for working on this important issue that impacts folks across this country, but especially in rural America. Senator Hoeven and I are on the floor this afternoon working to provide a voice to those who feel that the well-being of ordinary Americans are being taken advantage of. These are folks who are honest, they work hard, they play by the rules, but they find themselves victim to an unchecked air ambulance industry with too many bad actors. That's right, they're not all bad actors, but some are. And the folks that survive a flight of a lifetime are waking up the next morning only to find themselves in a new fight to keep their home and their financial well-being. In rural America, we're seeing more and more troubling reports about families losing nearly everything due to rising exorbitant air ambulance bills. In my home state of Montana, over the past 10 years, we have seen more out-of-state, independent, for-profit air ambulance companies in operation. These companies are moving into my state, and they're not affiliated with local hospitals. They do not always have contracts with insurance companies. And they're taking financial advantage of families who are in crisis. Families who may be forced to cash out their retirement accounts, drain their life savings, and even sell their homes to cover air ambulance bills that can climb up to $100,000. This has been well documented in the state of Montana. Occurrences of people getting billed enormous sums of money after an air ambulance trip has been well documented. So what's the upshot of all this? The upshot is we're a rural state. Oftentimes you can't get to a hospital in time by road, so you have to call up an air ambulance. If you call up the wrong one, you end up with a bill you can't pay. And so people are having to make literally life and death choices at a time when they shouldn't have to. And oftentimes, because of this experience, they're saying, you know what, we're in between a rock and a hard place, we'll take a chance. The wife or the spouse may be purple because they can't breathe, we'll take a chance. We'll pile them in the car and we'll drive an hour, get to the hospital. Hopefully they'll survive. A child may come in from an accident, potentially lost a limb, may be bleeding profusely, and we'll take the chance. We won't call the air ambulance. This system is broken and it needs to be fixed. It's broken for the patients, it's broken for the providers, and right now, in this country, there is no tool to address it. But we have a solution. Senator Hoeven and I have an amendment to tackle this issue and to put it on the FAA bill and get it done. Our amendment would provide states the ability to decide whether they want to create rules regarding air ambulance rates and services. Right now, states are prohibited from regulating air ambulances. But families have made it clear that something must be done to prevent these companies from raking families over and collecting exorbitant bills. Now, a one-size-fits-all solution from Washington, D.C. is not the answer, and that is why the good senator from North Dakota and I believe that each state should have the opportunity to address this growing problem in their own way. Our amendment will provide incentives for these air ambulance companies to be better neighbors, as we would like to say in Montana. It will encourage them to work with local hospitals and insurance providers to ensure that life-saving services that they provide won't cause that family to lose their home. This amendment is supported by state officials across the nation and from folks on both sides of the aisle.